Nick, congratulations.
Thank you very much, Ray.
Can I ask you, how does it feel to be $1,430,000 richer?
I don't know which is the greatest thrill, the thrill of winning the race, and I suppose the money helps when it comes in. But no, the thrill is unbelievable.
How about if I say to you, Nick, if I say to you, you are now the owner of a Melbourne Cup, how does that feel?
It feels unbelievably fantastic. I never dreamed that I'd win the Melbourne Cup. In fact, it wasn't for a good friend of mine. I haven't even booked to come to Melbourne, and he said to me, "I booked you at the Hilton at Melbourne." I said, "Well, I don't even know if I'm in the race yet." And he said, "Well, you're there anyway." So I said, "Okay, if I'm in, I'll come down. If not, I'll stay at home."
Now, Nick, run the last 200 metres for me. Where were your fingernails? Any fingernails left in those last 200 metres?
The last 200 metres, I just felt he had them. And then when Doremus come down the outside and he was pegging him back with every stride, and when they hit the line together and Hall threw his flag up in the air, I thought I was gone. And I just thought it would have been an injustice for him to get beaten after doing all the bullocking all the way. And everybody, all the good judges said that he couldn't repeat what he did in the Caulfield Cup. And he did exactly that. He's just an unbelievable horse, and it's fantastic for racing, Ray.
Nick, was that the plan? Did you understand it from Jack Denham that was the plan, to hit the front from the first metre and stay there?
No, Ray, I've got to be honest. It was Jim Cassidy's game plan himself. All he said was he didn't care where he wanted to be. As long as the horse was settled and travelling, he was quite happy with that.
So when Greg Hall actually put his arm up, he thought he'd won. Did you think he'd won?
I did, because the way he went past him so quickly. And we were waiting anxiously, and even Jack Denham was walking down the stairs as Jack, because he's very good on photo finishes. I said, "Jack, how do we go?" He said, "We lost." I said, "Fair enough," and I just accepted that. And then my young son Stevens yelled out, "Dad," he said, "We have won it, it's in the frame." And then it was just unbelievable. We just went berserk, Ray.
How do you feel then? You've mentioned how wonderful you feel being a Melbourne Cup winner, but what about being a Greek-Australian fruiter from Sydney? The idea that you've won arguably the biggest race in the world.
You know what? I was born in Townsville, Queensland, right? I just love this country. I would do anything for this country and always try to help where I possibly can.
Well, let me say that there must be good karma, because I know that how generous you are with charities around the place, so it comes to those who give, Nick.
Well, when the charity came up for the children, they took me out to the Children's Hospital. I just feel so much having 10 grandchildren of my own. And you see children born without sin and they're suffering, it makes it pretty difficult to really understand life. And this really touches me.
Well, it's a great day. It's a great day for you and for Jim and Jack. All our congratulations, Nick.
Ray, thank you very, very much.
All right, all the best, mate.
Thank you.
Good man. Jockey Jim Cassidy only returned to riding this year after an 18-month suspension over the so-called jockey tapes affair. He got an offer from trainer Jack Denham that has turned out to be the best move that Jim Cassidy ever made. He's with us now along with his wife, Helen Cassidy. Congratulations to the both of you. Jim, when you crossed the line, the rider of Doremus, Greg Hall, threw his arm in the air. Did you think he'd won?
I wasn't quite sure, Ray. I seen his arm go up and I thought, oh, he must have thought he got the money. And then Letzi looked across at me and said, "Pumper, your number's in the frame," and I was very, very relieved.
Well, let me just quietly ask you, how did you feel?
For a change, I was quite speechless, actually. Normally I've got plenty to say, but today I was very speechless and honestly quite emotional.
Now, Helen, you laughed at that. Has he normally got too much to say?
Oh, he's usually got plenty to say for himself.
What about you? When did you know he'd won?
I thought Doremus had won as well. When Greg went across the line, I was sitting well down in the stand and the members, and when Doremus actually went across the line, I really did think he'd won, especially when Greg threw his hand in the air. And then a friend of mine, Eileen Mackley, said, "No, 3's in the frame, you've won it." And I just kept saying to people, what won the cup? You know, I just wasn't sure at all.
Now, Jim, how good is Might and Power?
Well, I think he's the new superstar of the turf. He's winning the Caulfield Cup was outstanding. He knocked off Tulloch's record, and then the devastating way that he won really created a lot of atmosphere coming into the Cup, and then coming out today and leading again and winning. He's really the superstar of the turf. I think he's a champion, and we're going to see a lot more of him, and who knows, he may be in Japan this time next year, or even a race like the Dubai Cup.
Now, better than Kiwi, or is that an unfair question?
Not an unfair question, but two totally different types of horses. One was a stayer that liked to race from back, and this horse is a speed stayer, and I'm just so excited that I've been able to win 2 cups and in completely different style.
Yeah, I was going to say that Nick gave you credit. Nick said it was your strategy to win from the front again.
Well, it was. We discussed it, and even leading up to the Caulfield Cup about riding him 5th or 6th, and I said to Jack and to Nick, I don't think Superman can hold him slow enough to ride him back 6th or 7th.
I noticed when you came back to take the glory there after the race was over, you were sitting in the saddle and you threw your head back. What were you thinking?
Oh, look, it was almost the Darren Beaver. Praise the Lord. It's been a remarkable couple of years for me. I've had my ups and downs, and the support of the people, that's what was going through my mind. My wife, Helen, my children, a lot of people that have been very close to me in good times and more so the bad times. That really reflected on me today, walking back up amongst those roses.
It's no secret that you're doing it tough enough for that period when you were out there that you almost lost your house. I mean, today it's a different story, isn't it?
Well, that's the thing about life. One thing that I did understand, when I did do the time, I took my children to the hospital, and they give a lot of their toys to the hospital and that sort of thing. So I brought them up to show respect that there's other people doing it tougher than the Cassidy family. And when you think back to today, I don't wrap myself very often, Ray, but I give myself a nice little pat on the back today.
What about you, Helen? Give him a nice little pat on the back?
I think he's a very strong person. He's worked really hard for this, and I'm really, really proud of him. I'm just absolutely thrilled for him.
Congratulations and thanks to the both of you. I noticed you got a bottle of mineral water there. Is that all you're going to drink?
Oh, no, I was thinking probably a few bottles of Dom Perignon tonight and a couple of nice cold VBs.
Great story, great blokes.